What's up, y'all? It's Cynthia again here, also known as Kindle After Dark on the gram. Do the kids still say the gram? Okay. And I have quite a haul for you guys. I have had these books sitting on my dining room table. Mind you, I have like a 6-person table. I live by myself. So inevitably, the majority of the space I have on there is where a lot of the books I buy lay. As I purchase them, I just put them there until I decide where I want to put them. And it's a mess, so I needed to put them away. But I figured, why not make a video with it? So I have a bunch, but I want y'all to know that I've accumulated them like over the past few months. And a lot of them, some of them I have read already on like Kindle or audiobooks. And so I wanted copies on my shelf. Some were pre-orders. Let me see. There's a couple of mass markets. And I also, at my job, we typically get bonuses, but this year we're not. So rather than give us like cash bonus, they gave us like money not money, it's like credits that you can exchange for like gift cards. And so I chose to get some gift cards for Barnes & Noble. So a lot of these I got with that money. And there's a couple of these that are like books that I bought directly from authors that I ARC read for. And I have one from an author's Patreon. And I think that's it. I do have a couple of thrillers, which I have a lot of thrillers. That's what I primarily read before I started reading more romance. So occasionally I still do read thrillers. I'm not a big hardback girl. Like if I actually want to read them, I want to read it on a paperback. And I like breaking the spines, and the floppier the better. So anyways, I'll start with the mass market. Okay, so this is A Heart of Blood and Ashes and A Touch of Stone and Snow. And these are by Milla Vane. The name of the series is A Gathering of Dragons. So they look like this. And honestly, y'all, like I don't hate mass markets. When I read historicals, I like to read the physical copies, the mass markets. I mean, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like nostalgic, even though the font is always so tiny. I don't really care. But these, I think my library has the audiobook for the first one. Well, why did I get these? Because I know nothing about them. Well, there is an Omegaverse author. Her name is Marlo Roy. If you don't follow her, you should follow her on Instagram. And she writes post-apocalyptic male-female Omegaverse. And I ARC read for her, and we are good friends on Instagram. And she shared this in her story, and she said that, it's better than a bunch of like the romantasy that is out, and no one talks about it because it's not, like TikTok famous. So I do plan on reading these. I don't know how many are in the series, but these are actually really nice. Like you can't see, but they're not foiled, but it's like a shiny, the font is kind of shiny, and the rest of it is matte, which I love. I love a matte cover. So those are those two. Oh. Okay. And then we have King of Nothing, which is the first book in a series called the Kingmaker series by Paula Dom. I know I asked someone how to say this before, and I don't remember, so I don't want to butcher it. Dombrawiak. I don't know. I'll show it, but It is a marriage of convenience. This is by the same author that, let me see, I have it back there, that wrote Beautiful Lies, which is one of my favorites, recent favorite. It's a reverse age gap. And she's writing like this, it's like a political something. It's like rich people drama and politics and stuff like that. I don't know. It gave me like I want something that gives the same vibes as like Sierra Simone's. What is the name of the series? The American Queen series? What is it called? No, it's not called. I don't know what it's called, but American Queen and sorry. So yeah, I'm hoping this gives somewhat of a vibe. Like, I don't think it's gonna have like a three-way relationship, but anyways, this is a marriage of convenience. So that one I bought directly from the author. I pre-ordered it, so it is signed and it came with some goodies, but yeah. So that's King of Nothing. And I do recommend Beautiful Lies. I think I talked about it before, but if you follow me on Instagram, I've talked about it ad nauseum. Okay, this is books that were recommended to me by Nikki from Nikki in Bookland. And I keep telling her I'm going to read Inhale, Exhale, and I have yet to do it, but I will. Okay, so there are 3 books by C.L. Matthews. 2 of them, I believe, are part of a series, and one is a standalone. So the ones that are part of a series is Inhale, Exhale, and Breathe. And I haven't read these, but I really liked the cover art. I believe C.L. Matthews does her own covers, and she does covers for a couple of other authors, but I really love the look of them. So that's those 2. And then the third one is a standalone. It's called Music, Lights, and Never Afters. It's a rock star romance. Again, it's really nice. I love matte book covers. So I've been wanting to get to this author for a while, and I'm going to be taking I'm going to do less ARC reading for the rest of the next few months. So I'm hoping I can get to some of these things that I keep putting off. Okay, so those are those 3. And then this is an entire series. I have read all of these, and I had to get the paperbacks for my shelves because if you follow me on Instagram, at one point last month, I binged a ton from this author's backlist. The author is Samantha Young. I believe she is Scottish, and her books are, well, this series and the spin-off series, they all take place in Scotland, which I listen to these on audio. Check if you're interested in these. Check your library, because my library had almost all her entire backlist. And I listen to these on audio, and the narrators have the accents, and it's just it's just a different experience when you're reading about like characters from somewhere else and they actually have the accent from that place. So first is Here With Me. These are all contemporary, kind of small town, but small town Scotland. And they kind of focus around this family called the Adair. So that's the series name, the Adair family series. Yeah. So it's these brothers that they are kind of like a rich family, but they're not rich in money. They're rich in like land. And they inherited, like, I think the dad of theirs inherited this massive mansion that no one lives there, but they've turned it into like a resort. And the oldest brother, I believe, is the oldest brother. That's the one this is his book. He is a former Hollywood star. I think he was like an action movie star, and I can't remember what happened. I think he was just overworked and he decided to take a step back so that he could turn this mansion into a resort and like start doing that with his life. So Here With Me is his story. There With You is the story of his brother and the heroine from that book, her sister, her younger sister. And this one, I believe, okay, so this one is like a enemies to lovers. And then this one is a nanny romance. If you liked Heartless, this is better. Be With Me is the next one. And which one is this one? Okay, so this is about, I think this is the youngest brother, and the heroine is, it's like a secret identity, friends to lovers. Yeah, like best friends to lovers. The heroine has kind of like a story that you learn about. She makes appearances in the other books, but you really learn about her background in this story, and she's got like a lot of, secrets. So this one was really good too. And all of these I recommend. They were all 5-star reads. Well, except for this one. I think I gave this one 4 stars. And the rest were 5 stars. And they made me cry, which is like, if a book makes me cry, I immediately will recommend it. The last one is Only You. And this one is their sister. So this is their sister and their the brother, the former Hollywood actor, his bodyguard. Well, he was his bodyguard when he was an actor, but now he works for him as like head of security of the estate and everything. So that is him, and this is an age gap. He's the older one, and she is, I want to say, is she an attorney? I can't remember. I don't know, but it's like a big age gap. I want to say like 15 years, maybe, like somewhere around there, 10 to 15. Anyways, yeah, so that is Only You. Again, these are all part of the Adair family series. The spin-off series I haven't got to yet, and that one is called something Highlands, but it still takes place in the same area, but it's like new characters that are not like part of this specific family. So I have one more from Samantha Young, which is Down London Road. I already own on Dublin Street. On Dublin Street is the first book in this series. This is an older series of hers. On Dublin Street is the name of the series. And this one, so On Dublin Street takes place in, I can't remember what the name of the city is, but this is about a couple of the side characters from that you meet on Dublin Street, and I loved this series. I didn't finish. I think I had like one more that I'm like halfway in, and then there's a couple of novellas. And I did listen to these also on audio, and they're just so good. They're older, but I think that's why I like them, because they're so emotional, and they're not like, I mean, I can tell you tropes from them, but they're not tropey, if that makes sense. Like, you feel like the author wrote a story that just so happened to fill in, some of these tropes, or fit into some of these tropes, but not necessarily. I feel like a lot of books today, it's like they choose the tropes and then they write a story based on those tropes, and I don't get that same vibe from these, and from this author in general. So this one is Down London Road. I think this is enemies to lovers and workplace romance, I want to say. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, because there's several of them, so I think that's what that one is, but it's also really good. And then, let me see. So this one is a Patreon exclusive. So I am a member of this author's Patreon, and she wrote this as like a chapter by chapter Patreon exclusive, but she will be releasing it like as an actual, I would say it's like a novella. Yeah, because it's, let me see, it is under 200 pages. Most of her stuff would be classified as novellas. This is 159 pages. And the author is Leonie Riley, and the book is called Programmed for Love. It is an AI romance. So the man is an AI being, and the FMC is human. I haven't read it yet, so, but I mean, I will at some point. I agreed for this author as well. But yeah, so that's Programmed for Love. It'll be out, I want to say, in April, I think. So yeah, that's one. These two I also purchased directly from the author. She does offer some pretty cool book boxes, so you can either get, she has 2 series going on right now. You can either get both books that are out in both series, or you can get them individually, and it comes with a lot of goodies. I got one that, because I already have 2, I got the ones that I hadn't owned yet, which is for her Alien Romance series. She has one that's Monster Romance, and this one is Alien Romance, and it's, let me see, what is the name of the series? I can't remember. But they're by Emily Antoinette. So this is Space for Love. So it's a human FMC and an alien MMC. And then Space for More, it is a menage. She is the human, and these two are alien former lovers turned enemies. And I believe she is there for work. Yeah. So these are both really good. I mean, let me not lie. This one's good. This one I haven't finished yet. So, I mean, obviously it's gonna be good because everything from this author that I've read, I love. But this one I can absolutely vouch for. I loved it. And also she does include, well, she doesn't include, but you can purchase vellum inserts. I can't show them because they're not safe for work, but they are pretty cool. So that's Space for Love and Space for More. These two, one of them is going to be a book club read, and the other, it's by the same author, and it just sounded like something I would like. So this one is the one that's going to be for book club pick for Tainted Love book club that I run with Nikki from Nikki and Bookland and Baron from the Book Baron. So Carved in Scars by L. Mitchell. This is a new adult. It's a high school bully. I think step siblings, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So it's Carved in Scars is a dark new adult lovers to enemies to lovers romance. Please check your trigger warnings. So this is supposed to be pretty dark. So yeah, if you're interested in that, definitely check triggers. I mean, I don't really need to know. I'm just gonna go in blind. And then this one is the same author, Ella Mitchell, and this is A Little Unstable. And they kind of, I don't know if they're a series, but they look like they kind of go together. So, and this one, I don't honestly even know what it is. It says told through dual point of view over 2 different timelines, a tumultuous story, an emotional roller coaster, showing what can happen, both good and bad. when we bare our souls to another person, and how love might look and feel differently when our pasts have left us just a little unstable. So, dark romance. So those two. Okay, and then I've been on a Fiona Cole kick, and I'm trying to work my way through her Voyeur series. So I've read Voyeur, and then I read Savior, which I love this one. This one, honestly, I really loved Voyeur, but this one I love even more. This one is like has to do with like human trafficking. I wouldn't say it's like captive. So this chick is going to be, she's gonna sell her virginity because she's like poor. Her mom, I think her mom died, I want to say, or her mom left them. I can't remember. Her mom isn't in the picture. It's just her and her sister, her older sister, who is basically a junkie, and this chick cannot fend for herself. Like, she works a part-time job, but she has to pay all the bills in the house, and she's barely getting by, so she decides to sell her virginity. And the guy that goes is this guy, who is the hero, and he actually is not going to like go through with it. He's part of like a group that saves girls from being trafficked, basically. And so he saves her, and rather than take her to, because he has like a foundation where they try to find like homes for these girls to help them get on their feet, and then, you know, get out there and be successful in life. But he keeps her, and he's just compelled to keep her. She moves in with him, and he gives her a job at his company, and then it's kind of goes from there. But he's much older. She is 19, I want to say. Yeah, I want to say she's 19, and he's like in his 30s. But yeah, the romance is between them. It's kind of like a, I want to say, very toxic. I don't want to say enemies to lovers, but it's very like hot and cold. He like tries to keep her, pushes her away, because he doesn't want to like give in to it, because he's hung up on the fact that he's older. So yeah, that's Savior. Lovers is a menage. So if you've read Voyeur, you know that this is around a club called Voyeur, which is like a sex club. And this is going to be a menage. So it's one of the guys we meet in Voyeur. He's a bi performer. And now he's not a performer necessarily in this one. He's like got a legit business where he works. He's working together with this couple on marketing for the bar. So it's like Voyeur is a club, and they have a bar called something with a V. It's like a play on Voyeur, but they work. It's kind of like if you've read the what is it? The like Praise. I forget the name of the series. Oh my gosh, what is it called? Salacious Players Club. If you've read that one, it's gonna be the vibes of Give Me More. I like this one a little bit more. I haven't finished with it yet. I'm listening to these on audio on Everend, if you have that service. All of this entire series and a couple of other books of hers are on here. So those are both by Fiona Cole. Okay. These are all part of a series I haven't read, but one of them I already had. I had purchased it last year because I was going to go to a book signing that this author was going to be at. And then I ended up not going, but the author ended up not being, last minute, she couldn't make it. But I was very intrigued, and I forgot I had the book because I had it on a bookshelf that I don't really see on a daily basis. So I forgot about it. But I got the ebook so I can get to it. This is also, I believe, either like a sex club or like a bar. I don't know, and I tried reading the blurbs and it doesn't really specify, but the series is called the Red Door series, and these are all by Diane Lane. So this one is Serenity. And I love, like, I had to get these two because I just love these covers. They're very similar to the Voyeur series. So they're like grayscale, matte, and the titles are all a different color. So that's Serenity. Also, very good cover models on these. And then I don't know the tropes for those, so I haven't looked them up. I don't know how to pronounce this. Maelstrom? Yeah, this dude's hot. I want to say this one is like a best friend's brother. It doesn't really say. I don't know, but it looks good. And then the other brother, no, I think this one is the best friend's brother. The other brother, oh, this dude is, the cover models are just hot. I'm the type of person that I won't buy a physical copy if I don't like the cover model. I don't care how much I love the book. That's how I am with S. Massery's the Hockey Gods series. I don't have the second one because I don't like the cover model. But she did redo them, so I do need to pick that one up. And then this one is Drummer Boy. I believe all the heroes are like part of a band of some sort. Obviously, this guy's the drummer. And I think there's one more after this, one or two others. Yeah, but I haven't heard anything about these, but they all have really good reviews. I think maybe people might be turned off because they're in third person, but I don't mind that. A lot of my favorite books are in third person. So My Dark Desire, I pre-ordered this one and it just came in the other day. So this is a second book in a series. What is the name of the series? I don't know what the series is called, but it's by L.J. Shen and Parker S. Huntington. So Parker S. Huntington, if you've read My Darling Venom, they co-authored this. So the first one was My Dark Romeo. I also own that one. It's somewhere over here. But I really didn't love that one. Like, a lot of people loved it and I didn't. It was kind of like annoying. The heroine was kind of annoying to me, so I didn't love that one, but I have a feeling I'm gonna like this one. I don't know what this is kind of like a play on. Something about, I don't know, he may be American royalty, but this peasant will rise to become queen. I don't know, but I'm gonna wait till the audiobook comes out because I like audiobooks if I can. Okay, so this is a trilogy that I just obsessed over. If you follow me on Instagram, I binged a lot of Ashley Jade's backlist this past month too. So this is the Fold series, I think it's called. Oh no, she renamed it. It used to be called the Fold series, but then she rebranded it to match. Okay, so before reading this, you need to read a duet that she has called The Complicated Hearts Duet. Okay, so it's obviously 2 books, and it is like a poly story. And then this series starts when the characters are in high school, and then it goes on to when they're in college. In this series, they're all grown. It's like several years later. And this is the romance between 2 of the side characters you meet in the duet. And the reason why I say you need to read the duet first is because there's a lot of references that if you haven't read the duet, you're going to feel like you're missing information. So for the best reading experience, read the duet first and then read this. So the first one is Fold. This one is pretty short. The last one is the thickest one. So this is Fold. I also listen to these on audio on Everend. Okay, and then Bluff is the second one. and then All In is the third. So she's the thick one. And I fucking love this trilogy, y'all. Like, if you're a fan of Ashley Jade, if you're a fan of the words, if you're a fan of her, what is the series called? Oh, I have it somewhere. I forget what it's called, but it's like her high school, something. Okay, I don't want to even guess. It's like a new adult series, but it's so good. And this was just, I'm like, I need more books like this. Like, this was published, let me see, these are, they're not like that old, but 2018. And I'm pretty sure that all three came out within that year. But they're just so good. Like, something about Ashley Jade's writing just hits different. Like, I mean, you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, because some people have read the words and they're just like, I don't get it. And other people have read it like me and then they just obsess over it. This is better than the words, honestly. But I mean, I love anything she writes. So this is, again, the Complicated Parts. So the duet is Complicated Hearts, and this one is Complicated Parts trilogy. Okay? Okay, now these are two books. One is a recent read, and then it's also a trilogy, but the third book isn't out on paperback yet. The ebook is available, but the paperback isn't. So this is, the trilogy is called The Sculptor. And I already forgot how the heck to pronounce her last name. Baron told me how, because I believe it's Polish, and she is Polish, but I don't want to even like act like I can say it. So it's called Oblivion Black, okay? And this is, I don't know if you can read, it's backwards, y'all. I'm on my phone. I didn't even really think about that. Anyways, Oblivion Black, and this is, I wouldn't even call it romance. It's, if you check on Amazon, it is classified as, or categorized as, romantic literary fiction, I believe. But I mean, it has a romance in it, but I just don't know if it ends in an HEA. It's one couple throughout the entire trilogy, but since I haven't read the other two yet, I don't know if it's an HEA. It might be like a unconventional HEA. It might be, I mean, a traumatic ending. I don't know. I will let y'all know when I read the other two. But this book, y'all, this book is so good. The prose, the story, there's just so much depth to these characters. Oh, I'm just like, I ate this up and I obsessed over it. And y'all know, like, if you follow me on Instagram, that's just how I get, because I DNF books like nobody's business. Okay, so if I'm not feeling it, out of here. And then I get to something until I start, feeling like I can't put it down. And this was one of those books. I don't know how I even found it, honestly. Like, one night I was just scrolling through Kindle Unlimited. It is on KU. I'm pretty sure all of these are on KU. But yeah, this is a romance between a sculptor, a famous artist, and she's an art school dropout and a recovering drug addict. So it's a dark romance. Like, there's a lot of triggering stuff in here. So, I mean, check the blurb and research the triggers, because I don't have any. So, I mean, I can tell you, obviously, there's a lot of mental health rep, both of them struggle with different traumatic experiences, and obviously addiction, so many things. And that's just the first one. The second one is called The Hierarchy of Needs, or Hierarchy of Needs rather. The third one, I can't remember what it's called, but I will get that one when it comes out. But these covers, by the way, like, I mean, seriously, y'all, like, these covers are stupid beautiful, okay? And this is the heroine. She has long blonde hair. This is not. This is another character that you will meet if you read it. I don't want to say anything because it's hard to describe the plot without spoiling it. I honestly don't even recommend reading the blurb. In all honesty, like, if you have no triggers, I would just go in blind. But just be aware that I cannot vouch for an HEA because I have not completed the series yet, okay? So let me see. Next. Okay, so I picked this up at Barnes & Noble the other day. This Could Be Us. I have not read the first one yet. And I don't know why, because I had the audio. I don't know, I have to be in like the mood for Kennedy Ryan because she really takes a lot out of you. But I've heard nothing but good things. And even, I rarely have the people at Barnes & Noble like actually recommend stuff to me. But when they saw that I was getting this, they were like, oh my God, this is so good. And I'm like, all right, girl, sold. So, and this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I don't know. I think it's the foiling on the flowers that is not on the regular one. And then I got Pretty Reckless by LJ Shen. I have not read a lot by this author. I know it's like hit or miss with her, but I did enjoy the series that comes before this, because I believe this is a second generation series. But the series that comes before this, I haven't read all of them, but I have read a couple and I have enjoyed them. And I'm curious about, you know, the second generation. I don't know what this one is about. I don't know. I'll probably listen to it on audio. I think you can get LJ Shen. A lot of her stuff is included on Audible Premium if you have an Audible membership. Okay. And then I got this one. Y'all, I'm not even like a fantasy reader, but this book is fucking gorgeous. And I've seen a lot of people talk about it. And I'm curious. I will probably read it because it's really not, I mean, it's like a little over 400 pages, but it's like a romantasy. Yeah, but it's called A Fate Inked in Blood. I'm sure y'all have seen this on Instagram. Like I don't know if you can see how metallic the sprayed edges are. It's like a baby blue. It's beautiful. And the artwork, like the cover art, the actual hardback is just white, but I like it. It's like simple. And I don't read these like hard covers. These are just like specifically for the shelf. I would probably listen to this on audio. So that is that one. And then I also picked up a couple of thrillers. Well, one thriller and one, I don't know if this is just fiction. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I don't know if that's French, but yeah, I don't know. I know this has been turned into a series on Netflix and like several movie. It's been the inspiration for several movies. I just know it's like a very well known and well loved psychological thriller, and at some point I would like to read it. And the other version, like there's one version of it that has this ugly Netflix sticker, and I didn't like that one. I mean, this is like not a sticker, it's like, you know, the cover, but I would prefer this over the other one. So that's Daphne. And then The Fury by Alex, and I can never say this last name, Michaelides? I don't know. But he wrote the Patient, I think, is it the Patient? Yeah. A couple of other ones. I don't know, but I have, this is on Everand, so I do want to listen to it on audio. I believe it's like the characters, I want to say it's like British maybe. I don't know, but Riley Sager blurbed it, and if Riley Sager blurbed something, I'm gonna read it. Okay, so if you're a thriller girl, Riley Sager, then you know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, this is a romantasy also. I've been wanting to read this because I've seen someone, I can't remember who I follow on Instagram, that I usually love the same stuff they loved, and they really recommended this, Dawn of Onyx. I'm sure a lot of y'all have probably read it. It's not anything new. But I like that it's not that long. It is under 400 pages, just under or around 400. But it's a nice floppy one. I was gonna order it from Amazon, but I was like, I'll just use my gift card and get it at Barnes & Noble, because Barnes & Noble books are just floppier anyways. Okay, and then the last ones. So I just had this idea that I wanted at some point to work my way through reading classics that I read like as a teenager for, school, and read them now as an adult, because I'm sure I didn't know what the heck was going on, like for real at that age. And, now I have lived a little, so I'm pretty sure I will understand it a lot more and maybe see why they're so great and why they're considered classics. So, okay, first I got, these are Barnes & Noble, like, I think they're Barnes & Noble exclusive prints or whatever. So this one, it's a box. It comes in this box, and it's the Bronte sisters, 3 classic novels. So it comes with Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights, and Agnes Grey. I have not read Agnes Grey, but I did read Jane Eyre, and I don't know if I read Wuthering Heights, but I know a lot of dark romance books are inspired by Wuthering Heights, and I have a feeling I'm gonna like it. So let me show you. They're so pretty. That's why I got these. I mean, because they have like the Penguin classic versions, but I just don't. Those are like boring. These are pretty, colorful. So this is Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte. I don't even know what this one's about. I don't know. Okay, and then Jane Eyre, which is Charlotte Bronte, and also Wuthering Heights, which is Emily Bronte. I just think they're so pretty. Like, I don't know, and I like colorful kind of, the fact that they're all different like color schemes. And then the box is really like pretty too. Okay. And then these didn't come in a set. I just bought these individually. Pride and Prejudice. This is a really pretty cover. The peacock, the green, and it's like something about the quality of classics that is just, I don't know, it just feels different. It just takes me back to my youth when I used to literally, we didn't have much where I grew up. Like, it was a small podunk town, and for fun, we would go to the library and I would read a lot. But yeah, Pride and Prejudice. I have read this, and I mean, as a teenager. I haven't read it as an adult. I haven't even watched the movies, and I know people love the movies, but I would like to read it. And then last, I haven't read this one, and I don't even think it was like one that we were ever, that was an option to read like in high school for, I don't know about y'all, but we had like options of certain books, like classics that we could read for like our English literature classes. But Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. Oh, they're both Jane Austen. I think there was a Jane Austen box, but they didn't have it in stock. So this one is so pretty too. And the paper in these, I think it's different from these. Yeah, these for some reason they're like definitely more of the floppy type, and they're more of that like, what is it, like the texture, you know, it's more like a rough texture that reminds you of like classic novels. And these, the ones that came in the box, they're definitely more like your average, you know, present day, every book kind of. They're nothing like super special, but yeah. So I got those. Those are, I do plan at some point, once I get some of these arcs that I still had committed to out of the way, then I do at some point want to read these and kind of do like vlog reading style. It'll probably take me a while though, because some of these, I mean, not even just the fact that some of these are chunky, but you know, they're much more, obviously they're classic literature, so it's not something that you can just read pretty easily the way you do, you know, like contemporary stuff. So that's all the books. I'm almost done, Bubba. Oh my gosh, my dog. I know, I'm almost done. Last thing I want to show you guys that I got, which I also got this with my work, like the points or whatever that they give us. There was nothing that I really liked, so I was like, oh, let's see if they have any e-readers, and they did have Kindle Scribes, so I got one. So it is so nice. I just put stickers on the back, so I want to show y'all, but it's actually like, I'm not mad at the size. I like that I can write notes, and like it makes me feel like I'm in school, but you know, on a tablet rather than notebook, because we didn't have tablets when I was in school. But yeah, I just put all my stickers on it, and I love it. I have a shitload of stickers that are just sitting there because I don't change out my stickers on my Kindle. I stick them directly on the sucker. These I stuck on the case because this Paperwhite is not like not Paperwhite. This is the Scribe. It's not like a Paperwhite. It's more of like a smooth finish on the back that I feel like stickers would probably leave, like they'd be hard to take off. But this was a cheap case, like a $10 case, so I can always get another case if I want to like have no stickers on it. But yeah, so that is all I have. Wow, that was almost an hour. Yeah, so let me know if any of those sound cool to y'all. If you have read any of these that I haven't read yet, let me know in the comments. Tell me if there are any of these that you'd like me to maybe like vlog my reading of, and then I'll make it a video. But yeah, I think that's all I have. Bubba, he's about to knock this thing over. Yeah, but he needs to go outside to POTTY. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.